Finally, he returned home. But just as he reached the doorway, he noticed two large footprints on the ground. They definitely didn't belong to his wife. Beside the footprints was a pile of cigarette butts, clear evidence that someone had been staking out his home. He quickly grabbed the pistol from his car, vaulted over the gate, and ran toward the house under the cover of the bushes. But then he saw more clear footprints on the ground near the building, meaning the man had already gone inside. Carl crouched low and rushed in. Inside, rock music was blasting, but his wife was nowhere in sight. He sprinted to the bedroom, only to find it in complete disarray, with bloodstains on the wall. He quickly called his wife's phone, only to learn that she had been severely injured and was in the hospital. When she had been alone at home, a man and a woman had suddenly burst in. Without warning, they had slashed her over the head with a knife. Carl's brother-in-law told him that the two attackers were ruthless. Seeing his sister on the brink of death, they finally left, taking off in a green taxi. After hearing this, Carl immediately transferred his wife to a private hospital. Then, once home, he started digging. As an elite hitman, he had hidden plenty of emergency gear in the house, things his wife knew nothing about. Taking the weapons he needed, Carl disguised himself as a tourist and drove into the city, looking for that green taxi. He didn't get out of the car when he saw one. Instead, he quietly noted the taxi company's name. That night, when the streets were quieter, he went to the company, pretending he had urgent business. But as soon as the door opened, he stepped back, raised his gun, and shot the manager dead. Carl then entered the control room and checked all the taxi's travel records. He found that one had been near his home 2 days earlier. From the vehicle information, he traced the driver, a curly-haired young man. Having obtained all the useful information, Carl deliberately trashed the office and scattered some cash to make it look like a robbery before leaving. The next morning, Carl waited outside the garage. When he saw the curly-haired man driving the green taxi, he followed him until he dropped off his passenger, then got in as if he were just another customer. The young driver focused on the road until Carl drew his gun. The driver panicked, his mind racing. He quickly handed over his wallet, but Carl wasn't interested. Instead, Carl brought up the passenger he had driven to Carl's neighborhood 2 days earlier. The driver remembered them, a man and a woman. The man was muscular and tough-looking, the woman thin like a cotton swab. They had arrived on a private plane, hired his taxi, and gone deep into the forest to a private residence. An hour later, they left and rushed back to the airport. Even though the driver told him everything, Carl knew that the more someone talked, the faster they died. Carl didn't know who the two were, but his boss definitely would. Carl then used a fake ID to board a plane to New Orleans, where he kept 6 warehouses stocked with weapons and gear. He took a pistol, 2 bullets, and a new passport, then picked a license plate from a pile and fixed it to his car. Now, apart from the live ammunition, everything about him was fake. His boss lived in a high-security apartment building where entry required facial recognition through CCTV before the gate would open. Carl had no choice but to disguise himself as a cleaner and stake out the building, waiting for the right moment to slip inside.